as we do with the show, we start out with all the things that you're doing right now, and then we pretty much go back to the start and start from the beginning. One of the purposes of this show is obviously to educate, but also to inspire people and to open people's horizons, especially for people, as the broadcasting, if that's what we even want to call it, but as the broadcasting landscape evolves and different things like that, of all the different types of jobs and all the different ways that people can get involved in and all those different things. But tell us where it is now. Like give us the landscape of where it is now, in flow, and then motorsports, and then drag racing.
Yeah, I mean, look, the flow story is awesome. It was started by two brothers, Martin and Mark Floriani. One was a college wrestler at Cal Poly. The other was a Division I runner at University of Texas. The Mark had aspirations of being an Olympian, and Martin, I think, never reached his full potential as a wrestler. And really what it came down to is when they graduated from college, they didn't really know what they wanted to do, but they knew that their passions were in their sports. And I will never forget, 8-9 years ago, Martin Floriani telling a story about how, God didn't come down to the United States and declare that football shall be king. Football in America, and everybody's following the NFL, right? It was made into the sport that it is today through storytelling and context building, obviously live coverage, and 24/7, 365 content and context building to make the NFL what it is in America today. And it really doesn't exist anywhere else in the world. It's an American thing. But if you ask them, their belief was the best sport in the world was wrestling. For Mark. And so there's this fundamental belief that any of these sports with scalable, passionate audiences, if the stories were told right and the context was built right and the distribution was right, any one of them could be the next NFL. And so fast forward 15 years from the start in 2006, FloSports' mission really hasn't fundamentally changed. We're all about growing economies for sport, so that they can flourish and grow and create more and more content generation and storytelling and context building to make it easier to be a fan. So certainly we're doing that in motorsports. We started in dirt track racing, circle track racing, then we moved to pavement, short track racing. We've done some two-wheel. And as you know, we've made some lofty investments in drag racing, because we're passionate about the audience, we're passionate about the sport, and we think we can be a meaningful contributor to growing the economy for the sport, which I know this particular community is really passionate about. I think there's some disagreement about how to do it. But we have what we believe is a tried and true way of growing economies for sport, not only for ourselves, but for our partners as well. So that's the quick background. Flow has 20 different verticals, flow racing being one of them. We're heavily involved in NCAA sports. We have the #1 wrestling vertical in the world, the #1 Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu vertical in the world. We've got #1 in cheerleading, a marching band. We just acquired a company in hockey, so we do over 30,000 live hockey games a year.
Wow.
Flow's growing, and really our place in the sports media ecosystem is trying to serve underserved audiences. When we see that a particular community has rabid, impassioned fan bases and businesses that support those fan bases, but it's just lacking that thing that takes it to the next level, that's typically an area where we get excited, and we want to explore that and see if we can contribute to reaching the goals of not, again, it's really important, not just of ourselves, but of the athletes and the teams and the media distributors like Drag Illustrated, but also the promoters, Donald Long and the Miller brothers and Victor down in Bradenton. Like, the more we can continue to fund and build their stories, our belief is that the more we invest, the faster the sport grows.